Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. Since in our previous lecture we have classified organic compounds into one class, simple organic compounds. Furthermore, these were simply called as hydrocarbons. These constitute and or we should say comprise of these hydrocarbons were further subclassified into saturated hydrocarbons and unsaturated hydrocarbons. These saturated hydrocarbons or unsaturated carbons were further classified into alicyclic. These also into alicyclic, both of alicyclics comprise of straight chain molecules of hydrocarbons and branched chain molecules of hydrocarbons. These also constitute of straight chain hydrocarbons and branched chain hydrocarbons. And besides these two classes, they were also classified into cyclic or aromatic hydrocarbons. Cyclic or aromatic hydrocarbons, simple ring containing hydrocarbon chain and number second benzene ring hydrocarbons constitute aromatic type. Those they do contain benzene ring anywhere. Now please, I have to rub the board. You should remember these things. whether alicyclic or cyclic or aromatic. These are further classified into alkanes with general formula CnH2n plus 2, where N is the number of carbon atoms in a chain, and alkenes with CnH2n as a general formula. Of the chain or of the alkenes generally, as well alkynes with general formula CnH2n minus 2, where in all the three cases N is the number of carbon atoms, which I have wrote here. And furthermore, we can say we should remember when here we should remember these things when N is equal to 1. We should remember here this means meth, METH. Similarly, when N is equal to 2, this we should remember this means eth. And when N is equal to 3, we should remember this means it's prop. N means 1 means there is a 1 carbon in a molecule. N means 2, there is a 2 carbons in the molecule. That means, in other words, we can say this is C2. In other words, this is C1. Means within a molecule there are only 1 carbon atom, there are 2 carbon atoms, and there are 3 carbon atoms. That means C3. It means prop. It means N is equal to 3. Similarly, N is equal to 4 means this is called as but. That constitutes 4 carbon atoms should be within the molecule, and N is equal to 5 means spent, means there should be 5 carbon atoms within the molecule, that the molecule should be of formula C5. N is equal to 6 means hex. We should remember this word, means there are 6 carbon atoms within the molecule. This can be called as C6. N is equal to 7. This we should remember, this means hept, means C7, means 7 carbon atoms within the molecule. N is equal to 8 means oct, that means 8 carbon atoms within the molecule must be there. When N is equal to 9, that means that's called as non, that means there should be C9, that means 9 carbon atoms should be within the molecule. N is equal to 10, this is called as DEC, DEC, and that means there should be 10 carbon atoms within the molecule. These numbers should we remember for learning the organic chemistry in further details. This is alkanes, this is alkenes, this is number 3rd, the alkynes. I have to rub this and have to proceed furthermore. When we come to the formula alkanes, that is CnH2n plus 2. For example, if we introduce n is equal to 1 here, that means C is 1 and H means 2 into 1. H is, this is C1, then H2 into 1 plus 2. This is the general formula. C1, that's C1n plus H2n, 2 into 1, because n is 1, plus 2 is the formula. That means this becomes equal to CH4. C1H4 should be called as CH4 because 1 isn't necessarily written here. And this we know, C, when there is C1, that's called as meth. And if we are discussing about alkanes, we have to add the word or suffix "ane" here. Then it becomes methane. In the similar manner, when there will be equal n is equal to 2, that will become C2H2 into 2 plus 2, means C2H2 to the 4 plus 2 equal to C2H6. That is then it, because two carbons are there and we are dealing with alkanes, we have to add suffix "ane" here. That means ethane. Similarly, when there will be n is equal to 3, that will become equal to C3H8 in general, and this will be called as propane. P-R-O-P-A-N-E. Prop is the word and ane suffix is add here. Then after, if it is n is equal to 4, that means C4H10, because formula becomes 2 into 4 plus 2, that means C4H10, means this will become B-U-T-A-N-E, butane. Similarly, when n is equal to 5, this will become C5H12, and this will be called as then pent, which the suffix "ane" is added, then becomes pentane. And furthermore, we have to proceed further, and we will furthermore proceed in our next lecture onwards from this n is equal to 5, that's pentane molecule. Inshallah, that will be decided in the next lecture. Khuda Hafiz.